Welcome back to On the Pulse presents Andrea's Country Home Cooking, our monthly cooking show featuring good country recipes straight from my kitchen. Today we're going to make cheeseburger soup and we're going to make my famous cheesy bread. So come on into my kitchen, let me show you how it's done. Alright guys, to start our cheeseburger soup you're going to want to start with a good sized pot. I have it on medium heat and we are going to add 1 pound or 2 pounds, depends on whatever your family enjoys, how much meat you guys like. We're going to start with 1 pound of Angus beef. We're going to cook it on medium heat until it's cooked thoroughly. As our meat's cooking, let's start getting some veggies chopped up. So first we're going to get 3/4 cup of chopped onion. Put it in your chopper with a couple good pumps. You don't want them too thick, you want them fine so they're not like huge chunks of onion in your soup. Alright, so we have our 3/4 cup of onion, we're going to set that aside. Next we're going to do potatoes. You need 4 cups of diced potatoes. I already started chopping it, I'm going to show you what to do. This is already washed. You don't have to take the skin off unless you want to, and that's okay. I'm going to cut it into just little tiny, kind of like hash brown cubes. And you don't want to use frozen hash browns just because they're going to be mush by the time you go to eat your soup. And just do little tiny squares of potatoes, as you can see on my knife. Alright, our potatoes are ready. There's 4 cups cubed ready to go into our soup, right along with our onion. Next step we're going to do is we need 3/4 cup of celery and 3/4 cup of shredded carrots. So for your celery, if you want your celery thicker, you can definitely do it whatever thickness that you guys would like. I usually cut it straight down the middle and then just give it a good chop. Alright, so our veggies are ready to throw into our soup. So our beef is all cooked. It was about 20 minutes for it to get all browned up. We're going to put it in a separate bowl for now. And we're going to start cooking our veggies in this exact pan that we cooked our meat in, because all this flavor is going to get in with our vegetables, and that's what you want. Alright. Okay, we're going to set the meat to the side, and we're going to start cooking our veggies. Okay, to start our vegetables, we're going to cut half a stick of butter, 4 tablespoons. We're going to put it in our saucepan, and we're going to put the heat on about low to medium. You don't want it too hot. You'll let the butter melt down. Alright, our 4 tablespoons of butter is all melted down. Now we're going to add our veggies. We're going to add 3/4 cup of our shredded carrots, 3/4 cup of our celery, and then we're going to add our chopped onion. We're going to add a little bit of parsley, about 1 teaspoon. Our veggies are nice and tender. They've been cooking on low for about 5 minutes. Next, we're going to add 32 ounces of chicken stock. Add it nice and slow. Stir it a little bit as you mix it in there. Oh, it smells so good in here, guys. Cannot wait to dig in to try this soup. We're going to bring the chicken stock to a boil. Okay, I brought this to a boil. We're now going to add our meat and our potatoes to the broth. And we're going to let all this sit and cook for about 10 to 15 minutes until your potatoes get nice and tender. I'm going to give it a good stir. It's looking delicious. Okay. While this is simmering, I'm going to show you how to make some delicious cheesy bread to go with this soup. Our soup is simmering, so to pair with our soup, we are going to make a delicious cheesy bread. And I'm going to show you what you need to do to make this. So let's get started. First, we're going to start with the cheese mixture. What I did is you don't want to let these out of your fridge to get soft, because when you shred cheese, it's much easier if they're hard. So we're gonna get this shredded up, and what you want is you're gonna want 1 cup of extra sharp cheese. So our extra sharp cheese is all shredded. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the bowl over here, and then we're gonna get started on our Monterey Jack cheese. Now for Monterey Jack, you're gonna want 2 cups, so you're gonna want to shred the entire block, which is 8 ounces of cheese. We have both of our cheeses all shredded. We're gonna add it to the bowl. I love Monterey Jack because it's such a smooth, creamy cheese, and it absolutely makes this cheesy bread, especially with the Cabot Extra Sharp. It's so good, guys. I can't even tell you. I'm so excited for you to make this. Next step is we're gonna add some mayonnaise. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. Now I just eyeball it. You can measure it if you feel more comfortable. And if you don't like mayonnaise, don't let it freak you out. I've had a lot of people eat my cheesy bread that don't like mayonnaise, and you can't even tell it's in there. It just gives it this really nice flavor that combines with your cheese. Next, we're gonna add 1 stick of butter. Like I said, make sure that it's room temperature so you can mix it around real good. If you don't happen to remember to get it out of your fridge, that's okay. Just nuke it in your microwave on like medium power for about like 20 seconds just to get it softened up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this really, really good until it gets to be all mixed together and it's super smooth so it can go on your bread like a spread. Now it's going to be the consistency where it's pretty smooth, and this is how you want it because we want it to be able to spread on the bread so you're not fighting it. Next step, we're going to take the loaf of bread out. And we're going to cut it in half. Try to get it as even as you can. So one side's not too thin and the other side's not too thick. Just a nice cut right down the middle. Beautiful. And you can use Italian bread. You can use anything that your family likes. It just has to be a loaf of bread. We're going to grab our cheese mixture and we're going to start spreading it on the top. And what's nice about this bread is you pretty much can have this bread with any meal. That's what makes this bread so grand. Make sure it's even, half and half. And if you happen to get a smaller loaf of bread and you have some cheese mixture left, you actually can freeze this cheese mixture, and then when you buy another loaf of bread, you'll have it just to throw it on a piece of bread to make some cheesy bread real fast. That's what I love about this recipe. It's so simple and it's so delicious. I'm going to stick it on a cookie sheet, and we're going to bake this for 20 minutes at 350 degrees. Our potatoes are nice and tender, so next up we're going to add the best part of the soup, besides the meat, of course. We're going to add Velveeta cheese, and we're going to add milk. So first up, I have 1.5 cups of milk. We're going to dump in and let it warm up as we're getting our cheese cut up. Now you want about 2 cups of Velveeta cheese, so we're going to cut this in half. I usually do a little bit extra, because extra cheese never hurt anybody. What we're going to do is just kind of cut it into cubes like this, and dump it in. And you can't go skimpy on like knockoff Velveeta brand. It's got to be Velveeta if you want this taste. This is what makes the entire soup. Now we're going to come over and we're going to get the cheese stirred in with all this heat and get it nice and melted. Okay. Beautiful. Just gotta kind of let it sit in there. See how it starts to turn orange? Our soup is all done. We are ready to add the last little bit of ingredients. Now, if you feel like your soup's not thick enough, make a roux out of flour and butter. But this soup gets pretty thick. You shouldn't have to make a roux, but on my website, I have a recipe and it tells you how to do that. So right now, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of sour cream. And we're gonna add salt and pepper to taste. So thick and creamy and bright orange from the Velveeta. Cannot wait to dig into this. Our soup is all done. I cannot wait to try this. It is so thick and creamy and orange from the Velveeta, and that's exactly how you want it. Oh, I cannot wait to dig in. This is like such a family favorite. you see that, guys? Oh my gosh. Your family is absolutely gonna love you. Oh my gosh, I swear to God, every time I make this, it gets better and better. That Velveeta and the meat and the vegetables pull together, and this is a soup like no other. You gotta give it a roll. Join us again next month for fun Easter treats to make with your kids. My kids might even pop by. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.